my first time. It's my first time, and I noticed that when we started with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I think we're all proud to live in a free
Could
country.
you introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm
I
Barry
should have
Anello.
made that clear. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. And I think we're all proud to live in a free country. And when I see, personal freedoms being inhibited, especially for me and how it impacts me and people that I know and love that have quit smoking. My mother died from cancer. My grandfather died from cancer. And I've seen a lot of people die from lung cancer. And I know that this has helped thousands of people in this community alone leave cigarettes. Being forced back to a tobacco flavor, which is really what the ban is doing. Nobody is stopping e-cigarette tobacco flavors, but forcing all the people that have quit smoking in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70 years of age that are using these, right, doesn't seem logical to me. And then when I see it on the pretense of because the kids are breaking the law, right, to me, that seems like, where am I living now? Where am I living where my freedoms, my friends, people I love's freedoms are being inhibited because parents, 33% of them are buying them for their children, and the kids could go right on the internet with a cell phone and a debit card and order all that they want, but the people that are older that aren't internet savvy maybe can't drive to Santa Rosa to get them, or maybe they can't order online or whatever. The people that really need this to quit smoking and to quit smoking, right? Their access is being taken away by children that are breaking the law. I grew up, I broke the law as a child, right? And nobody stopped alcohol sales because I was out in front asking people to buy me beer as a kid, right? Oh, is that my time up?
Yes. Yes.
I didn't know
summarize
that,
your comment.
I didn't know that happened. Anyways, I'm glad I was able to talk, and I'm very passionate that it's helping the people in this community, and I think that, I wanted to raise my issue. Thank you.
And thank you for your comments. And perhaps for others, if you'd introduce yourself with your name, because we're on tape, not to excite anybody, but we're on tape, and then also, yes, we limit comments to 3 minutes.
Sure. Good evening, members of the City Council. My name is Stefan Didak, and I am with THR Policy. We educate on the subject of tobacco harm reduction and vapor products in particular. Minors should not vape. I think we all agree on this, but this policy will not accomplish the intended goals. There are better ways to prevent youth access, and we encourage the city to have that conversation with us and work together on more successful and long-term solutions. The proposed prohibition on the sales of flavored vapor products sends the message to adult smokers that they should continue a deadly habit because the city denies them access to a life-saving technology that has worked for millions of Americans. It tells former smokers who now vape that the city prefers they start buying cigarettes again, because after all, this policy would ensure that deadly combustible cigarettes will remain available in the city, while scientifically proven safer alternatives will not. Having looked at the analysis you've been provided, there are several problems that immediately stand out and may not be very obvious to you and would lead to potentially costly unintended consequences for both the city and affected small businesses. One example is that the proposed changes to the TRL will suddenly consider VIP, a business on 2nd Street, to be a tobacco retailer, yet their location is zoned to prohibit tobacco retail. The current TRL does not define VIP as a tobacco retailer due to both floor space and revenue definitions. VIP also happens to be an adult-only establishment where it's impossible for minors to obtain flavored vapor products, yet I don't see any mention in the analysis to exempt such establishments, which the vast majority of other municipalities in the state have included as part of enacting ordinances like this. So I respectfully ask the council to put this proposal on hold and allow us time to meet with any of you and your staff to work on this policy and avoid any of these unintended consequences, while helping the city ensure that minors will not obtain any flavored tobacco products from retailers in this city. Thank you very much.
And thank you. Next person, please.
Hi, my name is David Lezyne. Thank you, Mayor and City Council, for considering this and for the opportunity to speak. I've worked with homeless people and people struggling with mental health issues for the last 4 or 5 years, and I'm currently starting a program called everyveteran.org, where we help struggling veterans here in Marin. And I just want us to take a moment and realize not every adult in Marin has access to the internet or a debit card or a cell phone. And I can just tell you, working with struggling populations, both my parents smoke. I'm 100% against youth vaping and youth tobacco use. But for really struggling at-risk adults, nicotine can be so calming and reassuring and get them over tough times. And I just want us to carefully consider that this is what we do in a community. We're always balancing individual rights of adults with protecting the community. And I can just tell you, my clients have purposely patronized quite consistently, even though their prices are considerably higher. They'll go to VIP because they don't sell liquor. So there's a little island in the county where they can get that reassuring, calming effect from nicotine and not be tempted to buy a bottle of vodka or a 40-ounce Colt malt liquor. So I would just, all of us, there's a place here for us to carefully consider what we're doing and the unintended consequences of what we're doing. And I'd just like to remind all of us that people suffering from mental illness and people who are homeless and having a hard time, they have a right to purchase legal products. So thank you for your time.
And thank you. Next person, please.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, fellow council members. My name is Jaime Rojas. I'm with the National Association of Tobacco Outlets. Our national association represents local retailers that sell tobacco products throughout the United States, including here in the city of San Rafael. The majority of our membership is made up of small business owners. Our business owners, as stated earlier, are against selling all tobacco products to anyone under the age of 21. As it was stated earlier, it's illegal in the state of California as of 2 years ago. Retailers are the last line of defense to stop youth from accessing all tobacco products by doing a few of these things: checking all customer IDs, those who want to buy tobacco, the use of electronic ID verification systems and/or constant education to its employees on how to check IDs, placing of all tobacco products are away from public access and behind the counters, only accessible to employees. So much so that from January 2017 to January 29, in a 2-year period, the FDA sting operations here in the city of San Rafael has been 100% compliant, meaning no retailers have sold to anyone under the age of 21. So retailers here in your city do not sell to youth. The American Lung Association has recently given you a grade A. That grade A could not have been achieved without the city council, the community, and business sectors all in harmony and agreeing with this. In reading the staff report, the survey that is quoted by the Cal School Survey System, tobacco use by San Rafael high school students dropped by 30% by the time they were seniors. This is mostly due to the education outreach conducted in the junior and senior years on the harmful effects of tobacco use. Education works. This month, the San Francisco Commission of Small Business had an initial report on the impacts of its flavor ordinance. Here are some of their findings. 13.1% of San Francisco youth smoke often, which they came out with a number of 147 students in the city of San Francisco. 86% of those 147 students that smoke obtain tobacco products in San Francisco by one of 3 ways: friends, other social sources, and online sales, not by local retailers. So we duly ask with respect to hold on to the issue at hand, wait to what the state and the FDA does, and direct also the staff for an economic impact report that includes sales tax loss and fiscal impact to business. Thank you for your consideration.
And thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Rebecca with...
Drop the mic down just a little bit if you would, please. Thank you.
My name is Rebecca. I'm the buyer for VIP Vape Store. First, can I present you guys with some info?
If you would give it to city clerk.
There is a study from the Royal College of Physicians, and some of the things that are noted in there is that vaping cannot cause 5% of the harm that smoking cigarettes does. It doesn't have the same danger of secondhand smoke, and it's 93% healthier than smoking cigarettes. it's really important that adults be able to access that while being able to figure out what's right for them to help them switch and stay switched off of cigarettes and to keep the separation from cigarettes. I know myself, I felt a lot better smoking cigarettes. Aside from that, inside of the binder is all of our customer statements on what vaping has done for them and why having a flavor other than tobacco is important to them, what it means to them and their families, how long the citizens of San Rafael have been cigarette free, and using those flavors is also incorporated in there. And then I, as the buyer of VIP, have taken a lot of measures to get rid of products that appeal to kids, products that are labeled after children things. So I would just like if you guys would give us an honest opportunity to work with you guys and combat this problem before, and let the Fed laws go through. Thank you.
And thank you. Next person.
Good evening. My name is Elena. I'm a sales associate at VIP San Rafael Vape Store, and I just wanted to talk about the ingredients that are in the vape juice, which is vegetable glycerin, flavoring, propylene glycol, water, and the consumer's choice of nicotine. I also wanted to say that vape juice is 93% safer for the body, and it doesn't contain any of the rumored ingredients, simply the ones that I just listed. I also wanted to say that vaping has personally helped me to remove certain tobacco products from my life, like backwoods and swishers and also cigarettes. And thank you for your time.
And thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Tamara Wise. I am a floor manager at VIP in San Rafael. One of my jobs is I'm in charge of training our staff. One of them is definitely carding, making sure that no minors either enter our shop or try to purchase from us. We've also ordered new scanners that scan not only out-of-state but California IDs. We've also trained the staff on really taking their time at every ID, carding anybody that looks under, 35. Also, I was a smoker for, 17 years, pack and a half a day, and vaping helped me quit smoking. I was very successful with it, and I tried everything. So I really hope this doesn't pass, or we could figure out a middle ground to where you're not taking choices away from people that are legal to buy it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Jessie, and I am just a patron of vape juice, and I just want to say that being someone who works in the treatment community, having been sober myself, I know what is important for people to put in their bodies, and for a long time cigarettes was the main source of nicotine for a lot of people suffering with other addictions. And what I've seen working in the treatment community as well with the public, that a lot of those people have switched over to vape juice and to vape products, which has helped out a lot. I know I have a heart condition. I switched from smoking years ago, and I see a cardiologist, and he proves that this is much healthier for me. There are studies that say that, as we can see, 93% of findings have found that this is safer than actual smoking cigarettes. So I just wanted to say, we are letting people that are breaking the law, like kids and parents that buy these for their kids, determine what the law is going to be, rather than adults trying to find a way that makes this work for everybody. And so we're just trying to find a way that works and where our rights aren't infringed on. So thank you.
And thank you. Anybody else? Gentlemen.
Dave Bonfilio, resident of San Rafael, and I quit smoking cold turkey. So I know how difficult it is. I want to to address the pharmacy ban first. Take the lead from CVS and Rite Aid. Rite Aid just made the announcement they're going to eliminate tobacco within the next 90 days. CVS has already done it, and CVS is also funding a program to make 200 universities become tobacco free. So they're in the health business, and they're leading the way. As far as flavored tobacco, the tobacco industry has targeted the LGBTQ, the black community, and the Hispanic community with menthol and mint-flavored cigarettes for years. If you see the movie Beale Street, which is based on the James Baldwin movie, when the characters in that movie smoke, and they smoke throughout the movie, you'll notice they're using menthol cigarettes. So it is a tactic of the tobacco industry to entice people to use the product. I do believe that we should eliminate all flavored tobacco products, period. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, David. Now, oh, we have one more, or an additional.
My name is Bianca Vasquez. As a member of the LGBTQ community, it's not like affecting us like that. No one wants to sell to kids. We get it. It's in the home. That's really it. I kind of can compare this to Fosta Sesta. You're not changing anything. You're just pushing it out somewhere where you can't really control it. That's it.
Okay, thank you. So you preserved your last place.
All right,
position.
thank you, appreciate the time. My name is Eddie Walsh. I just want to say thank you to the council members and mayor. I own a business called Walsh & Reimer LLC in Petaluma, California, and we are manufacturers of vape e-liquid. We started doing this about 6 years ago as a hobby because my mom was diagnosed with lung cancer. So I was like, well, I got to try to find something to help her. So she started vaping. They managed to catch it early enough that where they controlled it, and she now vapes, and she's doing okay. Also, I wanted to say that our products are not marketed towards children. There was several shops in the past who I found out were selling to minors, and we pulled our product from their shops, and we blacklisted them. We will not sell to minors. I do not approve of it whatsoever. We just want our products to be in the hands of responsible adults and have a safer alternative. Like the Royal College of Physicians stated just last year that it is more than 93% less harmful than traditional combustible cigarettes. They actually, in England, they promote the use of vaping for adults, and their doctors prescribe them for their patients because it's much more effective than the patch, the lozenges, or the gum. The success rate to those are very, very low, and with vaping, it's helped millions of people quit. This goes much more beyond Save the Children. This has a lot to do with Big Pharma being very upset at our industry for taking away billions of dollars of their cessation programs that don't have a high success rate, like I just said. And so thank you for listening to me, and I hope you guys can consider this, not putting this ban through and meeting with us and discussing ways that we can make this work for both of us.
Let me ask you a question, Mike.
Yeah.
What if vaping was prescribed by a doctor?
Well, that would be considered a cessation product like Chantix or something like that. To be in that category, we would have to be, I guess, a medical aid, which we would have, basically the FDA is making us, our industry, by 2022, because we're considered a smaller business with less than 130 employees, I believe is the cutoff number, that per each SKU of our product, they want to charge us between $1 and $2 million to go through a review of tests that doesn't guarantee will pass. It's basically playing the lottery with the FDA. So up until then, we're hoping that they end up changing some laws and kind of follow suit to what the UK has been doing, which seems to be ultra successful. And, you know, with Gottlieb leaving the FDA, there's kind of been not really sure what they're doing. They say they're going to stick to what Gottlieb's plan was, but nothing's changed so far, so we're kind of in limbo until the 2022 effect for small businesses like myself. And we supply to VIP. We don't sell to any other shop or tobacco store here because we know that they're responsible, and we've been dealing with them for the past 5 years. We haven't had one issue, and from what they told me, they haven't had any issues of selling to minors with nine sting operations, was it? 9 sting operations, they passed them all with flying colors.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm assuming, no, wrong assumption. Hi.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm Pam Granger. I'm the chair of the Smoke-Free Marin Coalition. The coalition heartily supports the proposed amendments to Chapter 815 in both cases. Alarmed by the exponential increase in youth smoking, vaping products, communities throughout the state, including the county and 5 other jurisdictions right here in Marin, have taken a stand against big tobacco. Back in 2009, that's 10 years ago, we've been waiting. The Family Smoking and Prevention Act prohibited the sale of cigarettes with characterizing flavors. The big tobacco company responded. They're very nimble. They have produced young high school boys are smoking small cigars, flavored cigars, at a higher rate than cigarettes, and of course e-cigarettes higher rate than that. We talked about flavors and how big they are. Recent years, there's been an explosion of sweet flavored tobacco products that stand to undermine all the work that we have done since 1995 in tobacco control. The sweet products have fueled the popularity of e-cigarettes, and we've already seen statistics on the rate of use amongst all of our kids. Certainly, it might be said that electronic smoking devices are less harmful than a combustible cigarette. Less harmful is not necessarily safe. If they wanted to be approved as a cessation aid, they could, as the last gentleman say, apply to the FDA for so. So tobacco companies have a long history of developing and marketing flavored tobacco products as starter products that attract kids. They are indeed losing customer base, and so they have marketed, like buying Juul, 35 cents, 35% of a electronic a vaping company. They're not giving up. I've got more in the letter. I'll just leave
Can
you
I
with that.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes, certainly, Gary. Good to see you.
Why do you suppose there aren't more from our community out this evening advocating the same as you have?
Because this was billed as an exploratory thing. So as a consequence, we were waiting until there was something. By the way, in the draft it says under the age of 18, and I know you know it's gone to 21. So that was it. We've got children, we've got parents, we've got the Marin Office of Education. So there's tons of us, but we didn't perceive that this was that particular meeting. So.
On the contrary, this is probably the right time.
Yes, well, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Evening.
Hi, my name is Laura Walsh, and bear with me, I just had shoulder surgery, so you can see this is kind of important to me. I was a 2-pack-a-day smoker. My daughter begged me to quit. I tried everything. I tried patches, I tried gums, I tried white knuckling it. For years, I tried everything. And then I was out with a friend, and they had this little thing. And I was like, and they were, they looked like they were smoking a cigarette. And I was like, what is that? I'd never heard of it. And I tried it, and it was easy. It made it so easy. And I know they talk about the pods for the Juuls and how much nicotine they have in it. And those are designed, those high milligram ones, for people like me who are 2-pack-a-day smokers and need that high amount of nicotine in order to quit. And then it's designed as a step-down process. I'm currently at 3 milligrams of nicotine, which is significantly less than the 50 milligrams. It's a choice that the customers have. And I think it's important. I tried with tobacco flavors to quit. That didn't work. I ended up quitting actually with a strawberry cotton candy flavor, which I know that a lot of people are anti-candy flavors, but that's what worked for me, and that's what works for so many other people. Because if you're still having the tobacco flavor, at least for me and other people I know, we didn't see the incentive to switch when it tastes the same. Because it is still a little bit of a leap, because you don't just get addicted to the tobacco and the nicotine, you get addicted to all those chemicals. And that's one of the things that you don't hear about. But you do, you get addicted to all that chemical cocktail that they feed into your body. They don't put those chemicals in there for no reason. They put them in there because it makes it more addictive. And so for me, it made a big difference. And I want other people to have the opportunity that I had in being able to live a healthier, longer life. So thank you for your time. And on a side note, you can buy mango flavored beer cannabis. Thanks.
Good evening, council members. My name's Ted Torina. Good seeing you again, Gary Phillips. We first saw each other several years ago at the first homeless meeting to deal with the homeless crisis. My mother ran for city council several years ago. She wasn't as fortunate as all of you. She had a very worthy opponent. She got defeated. She was a wonderful person. I'm one of the proprietaries and the manager of VIP. I'm very proud of my staff. They did a very good job tonight outlining to you the information I think that you need. You know, when I came into this business, I was asked from another friend to help another friend. I said I'd only come into this if it was a high-class store and it really served the community, and that's exactly what it does. I'm very proud of my staff. We're very educationally based. We've had the San Rafael Police Department come in at least 9 times, according to the officer that was last in there a month ago. We've passed every time. We invested, like one of my staff members, the trainer, in a ID machine that works very well. We could probably get a better one. We bought it 3 or 4 years ago. There are better ones. We could spend more money. There's definitely quite a few things we could do to help youth not vape as much. Don't feel like our business should be penalized, or any of your constituents, the adults. We have over 15,000 customers, of which over 5,000 of those are vapors, and most of them have quit smoking cigarettes because of the things my staff has taught them. You know, we all want to help the kids. Don't think the flavor ban is the best way to do it. I'm going to come in tomorrow with a staff member and another expert and set up a meeting with one of your staffers to go over some additional options I think that would be helpful. Thank you for your consideration very much.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Well, I can see individual situations, perhaps those cited this evening, the benefit from, in this case, the vaping that you've discussed. In the back of my mind, I'm wondering how many more individuals, particularly youth, are going to be enticed into starting with the products we're talking about tonight, and therefore have to go through the cycle of now relieving themselves of that addiction. I mean, are we going to net out if we say no, and we're going to still have some that will, versus allowing more to use it that'll have to go through the cycle?
Well, that's a great question, Mayor. I would say that if we banned flavored vaping, that the youth, instead of picking up vaping, which some would, they would smoke cigarettes, which is a much less healthy alternative.
To the same degree?
Pardon?
To the same degree, the same numbers?
I can't
How
answer.
would you conclude that?
I can't honestly answer whether it'd be the same numbers. I can only say that the decrease in tobacco use is way, way down. It was commented earlier that Big Tobacco is investing in the vape business. Yes, they are. They didn't used to. When it first came out, they were fighting it tooth and nails. They're investing money now because they are starting to see the benefits and realize it's an international thing that people prefer over smoking cigarettes. That's why they're jumping into it.
But perhaps the reduction in usage of cigarettes is a result of some of the provisions here in San Rafael and perhaps elsewhere that have discouraged that initial encounter.
Yes, and our store also, any products we can find to benefit the well-being, the happiness of our customers is exactly what we look for. We have an opiate crisis going on, so we brought in some health and wellness products, our newest line. We started as an adult store, but we've expanded into items that serve the community, serve our customers, are healthier, better alternatives, and vaping is definitely one of them.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Once again, anybody else? Seeing no one, we'll close and come back for comment and direction of the staff on this agenda item.